You want to raise your sexual market value? You want to make yourself look like an absolute demigod to girls? Super sexy, super attractive? Then look no further, because these few tips, I'm not going to lie, you're probably going to look at me and say, Emmanuel, this stuff doesn't work. But it's true. These few tips make you look super sexy in women's eyes. One of them is a man who takes care of himself. And that's anything from personal style to skincare and hygiene. A man who has this straight is extremely sexy to women. And that's for two reasons. One, it shows that you're not a lazy slob. And two, you actually look better. It makes you look more attractive. It makes you look more handsome. Let's look at something simple like skin, for example, or a skincare routine. It's something that a lot of men don't have because it's not manly enough. On one hand, you could have a guy who has dry skin, a lot of acne, and just a lot of dirt and oil on his face just because he doesn't take care of his skin. And then on the other side, you have somebody that actually does take care of their skin. Somebody who washes their skin and cleanses it daily to make sure that you don't have that oil buildup so that you don't have to run into pimples and acne, or somebody who moisturizes their face to make sure that it's not dry and flaky. These two steps together ultimately help you to keep your skin in check. Just that little hygiene check alone makes a huge dramatic difference in how your skin looks. Of course, you can see why one is more appealing and sexy versus the other. But you don't have to overthink things. It is not as complicated as you think it is. Literally, a skincare routine. Personal hygiene and a personal sense of style, these are things that externally will make you appear more sexy to women. Now, the second point is listening. And women, see, when it comes to women, in a lot of different ways, they're complicated. And I'm sure you've experienced that. I've experienced that. And I hate to say this, but in a lot of other ways, women are simple. It really comes down to the small things. I mean, just by hearing her out, knowing what her favorite drink order is, or being able to call out her favorite movie, these are things that are going to separate you miles ahead of the next guy who is selfish, just cares about himself, doesn't pay attention, doesn't hear her out, and has no interest in creating an actual connection. So just make sure that you're paying attention to those small little details, hearing her out, remembering those things, and you're going to stand out amongst the entire crowd, and she is going to love you 10 times more. Now, another thing that women really find sexy in guys is having a manly voice. Now, notice I didn't say have a deep voice, because at this point in your life, you should know that's kind of a no-brainer. But the problem with a deep voice, which is obviously sexy, is that not a lot of guys have that. Because talking in a deep voice, one, it's not natural unless you have it, because trying to talk in a deep tone of voice, it's fake, first of all. And then second of all, you're going to strain your vocal cords and tire yourself out. Because having a manly voice, it has projection and it's clear. Also, it can definitely be found more sexy to have a masculine voice because it shows that you have confidence. Of course, having a quiet and a shy voice shows insecurity and maybe a lack of confidence. Making sure that you're having a voice that, again, is masculine, you're able to project, and it's clear, definitely going to add sexual market value. So the next thing that women find super attractive in men is vascularity. Now, if you've never heard of this term before, it's in bodybuilding. It's when you have very prominent or superficial veins that you can see through your skin. And this is usually due to the fact that you have a lower body fat percentage. You train and work out to some extent, so the muscle density that you have is a little bit higher. Thus, those veins are able to pop more because they don't have to fight through a layer of fat, and there's muscle under and around them kind of pushing and protruding them out, making them more prominent. But just like all good things and a coin, there's two sides, because on one side, while having a little vascularity is good, you can go to the far extreme where it's actually disturbingly uncomfortable to have too much vascularity, where you get into steroid bodybuilders where your veins are just popping too much and it starts to look gross and frightening. So at the end of the day, with vascularity, it all really comes out to balance, because having a little bit of vascularity is something that women find super, super attractive, handsome, and sexy. But on the other side, if you have too much vascularity, counterintuitive, kind of defeats the purpose. Humor her, okay? Humor her. Having a sense of humor, being able to make her laugh is a trait that is going to make you look super attractive. And women all over the world are going to agree, this is one of the best traits that a man can have hands down. Because humor is good for almost any situation, right? I mean, if you think about it, if you're sad, laughter helps. If you're happy, laughter helps. So if you can make her laugh and feel good, she's pretty much going to think that you are the sexiest man alive in her eyes. And at the end of the day, that's really the goal, and that's what you want. Finally, the last thing that women find super sexy in men is a man that loves his best friend. And by that, I mean his dog. Now, don't ask me. I don't know what it is about when women see a man being affectionate or goofy or playful with his dog, but it just makes them look more sexy to them, right? I had a teammate in college. He had a dog. I knew him before the dog. I knew him with the dog. This is a factual statement. Now, the theory behind this is it's a long shot associated with her picturing how you would engage with children if you were to be the father of her children in the future. So it's probably something subconscious about guys being friendly with animals and kind of seeing that paternal instinct and how you would interact if you did have a child together. But that's all we got for right now. That's all for this week's video, guys. I hope that helped you increase your sexual appeal. Make sure you guys drop a like down below if this video helped you like I know it did. And I will have links for a skincare routine that men can try, simple 2-step, in the description down below. Again, no commissions off of that. Just trying to help you guys be the best possible versions of yourself. And until next time, peace.